Okay, so now we're going to talk about dribbling. Dribbling is important because at some point in time you're going to have to be able to move the ball from one place to another. And since basketball does not allow you to do that by carrying the ball, you only allowed 1.5 steps. You're going to have to learn how to put the ball on the floor and dribble it to advance it. We just talked about layups, and layups are going to come in a game, are going to require usually at least a dribble or two. So we need to learn how to dribble, but a lot of players I see dribble with bad habits, and it starts at a young age. So equally important is to learn how to dribble correctly and learn how to dribble correctly at a young age, because it's much easier to learn to do it the right way than to have to do it the wrong way and get into a habit and then correct it when you get older. So let's start with talking about dribbling. Let's have Maddie come on up here. Alexis, come on up here. Okay, stand right there. So what they're going to do is they're going to start dribbling. Back up a little bit here. And the goal of dribbling, we're going to start out stationary, is same as with everything else. You dribble with your fingers. A lot of the control comes from the fingers. And your finger pads, we don't want it in the palm of our hand. Palm of our hand equals lack of control. So what you're going to do, hold the ball for a second, when they start dribbling, is their first goal, we're going to go low to the ground, and you're going to think of the basketball like a nail and your hand like a hammer. You're going to hammer it to the ground. It's going to come up quick and sharp, but when it comes up, you're going to turn your hand into a suction cup that kind of suction cups around the ball and contours to the ball like a sponge. It's going to rise up until you have control of the ball again, and then hammer down again. So let's go ahead and do a little stations. Hammer down. See how it comes down hard? And as their hand comes up, it kind of suction cups around. Their hammer nails. Their eyes are up. This is another thing you want to make sure you do is have your chin up when you're dribbling, because you want to be able to see the whole floor and the basket. Looking down for 1 second, looking back up, you can lose track of someone who was open, you can lose track of the defense who came over and they stole the ball, and you can lose track of the basket when you could have had an open shot. So it's real important to be able to control the ball. Well, this can help you control the ball and look up when you're dribbling, because when you dribble hard, which seems counterintuitive, the harder you dribble, the more likely you are to know where the ball is going to come back up to. If you dribble soft, you don't know where see how much my hand has to move to stay with the ball? If I dribble hard, I don't have to look around with the ball or worry about where it's going. The harder you dribble, the more control you have. And that's something I see a lot of new players. The other thing I see it doing is allowing that palm to get the ball. And then you get to the point where it feels like you're slapping the ball instead of controlling the ball. You want to control the ball with your fingers. You should be able to change directions, do whatever you want by using your fingers and your wrist, not your palm. It all starts with that stationary dribble. So, what we're going to do is we're going to have you all you guys line up back over here. Now we're going to do a stationary dribble, right hand, and I'm going to walk by and kind of look at you and point some things out here. So let's start dribbling. Okay? Notice they're all dribbling. What's the first thing you did? They get low. We talked about this before. Basketball playing low to the ground. Dribbling low. Their arms are out to protect. Their other arms are out to protect. So like the first view, I'm coming into it. Their eyes are up. The ball is low. Keeping that ball around knee level. Keeping your right hand right now. Okay. Now we're going to switch to the left side. Now here's the other thing that I see a lot of beginners make the mistake of, is they develop their right hand and don't develop their offhand. If you truly want to become an accomplished dribbler and really good, you have to be able to dribble equally as well with your right and your left hand and not look at the ball when you're doing it. Same exact process, the same thing. You're hammering nails in the ground and becoming a suction cup and a sponge as they're coming up until you get control. When you get control, hammer it back down. Left hand is even more important because you feel less comfortable, so you need to dribble harder so you know where it's coming back up to. All right, so let's go back to it. Go ahead and get the ball in your left hand. Go. Again. Harder the better. Hammer the nails. All right. Again, I can go come over here. You got to protect it. You got to protect it. The harder the better. The harder the better. You can even dribble harder than that. Keep harder. Okay. More balls. So when you're dribbling, you want to make sure that that hand's protected and you're dribbling hard and you're controlling that ball. And you're never looking at the ball. Every time you have to look at the ball, that's a small win for the other team. Parents, if you're working with your kids, a good thing you can do for them is to have them dribble and hold up different numbers for them to call out so that you can tell they're dribbling without looking. Let's go ahead and do here. I'm going to tell you to go right-handed, and then I'm going to tell you to do left-handed, but I want you guys to watch my hand, and every time I put out a number, go ahead and call out. So go ahead and start dribbling right-handed. 2. And here you go. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is a good way to keep them guessing, switching hands over there, make sure they're not just trying to stare at one target they can see across there. Because the key to being able to dribble is to be able to dribble and still use your peripheral vision. So you can put up different hands, and if they can see all those numbers and call them out instantly, you know they've got their dribbling down and they're not thinking about dribbling, they're thinking about what you're doing, and they're dribbling the ball and it's coming back to their hands. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the next part here, crossover dribble. In a crossover dribble, you are doing the same thing as before, but instead of hammering the ball straight back up and down, you use your fingers and your wrist to control it to go to the other side. So back and forth. I'm still hammering. I'm still becoming a sponge each way, but it's a way to do it back and forth. So that way, if the defense reaches for the ball and you want to switch to the other side, you can switch over and go the other way. All right, let's go ahead and make one practice across over here. See what he's doing there? Go even harder. See how he's snapping it back and forth, still the hammer to the nail, and his hands still become a sponge here. No ball. Same exact thing. Okay? Again, what I see a common mistake is two things on a crossover dribble. Is you're dribbling high and you're dribbling slow. Either one of those, Nate, come on over here. Try to steal the ball from me. Come back here. Try to steal the ball from me. I want you honestly to play defense. Okay, you got a good steal there. It's pretty simple. I go high, watch. Pretty easy to get the ball. I go slow, watch. Pretty easy to get the ball. Now watch this. Ready? See how much harder it is for him to get that ball when I snap it across really quick like hammer and nail. Try it again. Again, when I go fast, even though he's got a significant advantage because he's lower to the ground than me, if I go low and quick, I can still get it by even a good defender with quicker hands if I snap that ball and are very sure with where I'm going back and forth. So on crossovers, you don't want to stop, pull up and dribble like this, high and slow. You want to stay low and snap it across. Okay, so we're going to practice. What I want you guys to do is you're going to dribble 3 times and then cross over. So 1, 2, 3, cross. 1, 2, 3, cross. Right. Notice how they keep in control with both hands. They're crossing over. They're not slow and they're not high. After they cross, get it up. Good, good, good. Noticed when they're dribbling, they still had their guide hand up, or their off hand up as they're dribbling, and then when they crossed over, the other one went up there, and that prevents steals. So go ahead and go back to dribbling, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, when you're dribbling, you notice that when the guide hand dropped, I went for the steal. It's no different with the defense. That hand up there, I call it the guide hand because when we're dribbling, I talked about, or shooting, we talked about the off hand being a guide hand. When you have that off hand out there to protect, it's a lot harder to reach in. As soon as you drop it, if I'm a good defender, I'm going to go for that ball. So make sure when you're dribbling and you're crossing back and forth, in one motion after you snap that ball, that guide hand's up. Let's try that again. Good. Check it up there, whole time, go ahead. Good, hold the balls. All right, so again, when you're crossing over, the defender's gonna try to come straight in there and deflect, snap quick, off hand up, and it'll be a lot more success. All right, now I know this is a beginning level video, but, you have that ball. I will tell you that as soon as you can, start developing other dribbles besides just the regular crossover. There are several ways to cross over. One way would be, Alexis, come on here. Alexis would be coming over here, and she's dribbling. Let's have you guys all line up over here, one line for the other line. Hold the balls, hold the balls. We're filming here. The balls are really loud on film. One line. So what I'm going to show you is there's several ways to get the ball from your right hand to your left hand or your left hand to your right hand. And we're going to start out. I'm going to have the first person come across and do between the legs. Okay? So come on, whoever's going first. Okay, go between the legs. Okay? Go behind the back. Okay? Do a spin. Okay? Okay, so right there, hold the balls. Right there, the same crossover I showed you in the first part there. They used the same kind of techniques. They controlled that ball, they hammered it down, but then they controlled it and it became like a sponge in your hand. And that allowed them to have the ball go between their legs, behind the back, spin around their body, hesitate and then cross over. All these different tools are available. All starts with that foundation. It all starts with the same foundation you're learning on this video. Just starting out with hammering that ball, keeping your head up, controlling the dribble, and having your hands turn into a sponge as it comes up, and then controlling it with your fingers and not your palm. So all these things on dribbling are a good way, and you can start out with stationary dribbling, and then after that we can go to dribbling on the move, which is where we're going to go now. All right, go ahead and get that. We're going to do the dribble where you line up facing. So you need 2 balls only. Okay, one here and one on the baseline. Okay. All the way to the baseline. All the way to the half court. Okay, so let's talk about when you're actually dribbling in motion. So in dribbling in motion, it's the same kind of control techniques, but you also want to notice that the closer you get to the defense, the lower your dribble should be. If it's between you and the basket and there's no one else in front of you, you can dribble as high as you want. It doesn't matter because you don't have to worry about the defense stealing it from you. But the second you get close to the defense and they get in the area, you start getting lower and lower. So what I'm going to show you is as they get close to each other, they're going to protect the ball and put the ball lower to the ground as they go by each other and they're dribbling in motion. But when they're dribbling in motion, it's the same thing we're doing when we're stationary. They're just moving. All right? The closer you are to the defense, the lower the ball should get and the more protected it should get. And you're going to watch on this drill, they're just basically going to go by each other from one half of the court to the next half of the court. Let's go ahead and go right-handed. low, hold the balls for a second. Remember, when you get by each other, you're pretending that the other person is the defender. So when that person dribbling the ball gets close to you dribbling the ball, you had better get low and protect that ball. So let's simulate this as a defender. Go again. There you go. Okay, next. Nope. Left hand. Go ahead, left hand. Okay, left hand, go. Okay, hold the balls. All right, so you're noticing that every time they get close, if they're dribbling with the right hand, they kept the left side of their body between that person and the ball. When you're dribbling, come on here, Alexis. When you're dribbling, there's a defender, guard me. I want to keep the ball between them and me. That way, if I'm going, they don't have an easy shot at the basketball. Use your body as a barrier for the ball. All right, now we're going to do a crossover on the move. So you're going to start right, cross over to left. Go. Keep it low and control it. Keep it low and control it. Keep it low and control it. Go. For speed dribbles, we're going for control dribbles. Go. Good. Okay, hold the balls. Notice how they're controlling it and they're still snapping that ball even when on the move. It's the same kind of crossover. All right, now I'm going to give you a couple times here to have the freedom to do whatever kind of crossover you want. If you want to go behind the back, you want to spin, you want to go between the legs. Go. Remember, crossing from right to left. Let's try that again. Crossing from right to left. It doesn't matter what we're doing. You guys stay safe. All right, go. All right, good point here. Hold on a second. A really good point. 2 times in a row, what happened is the ball's almost got entangled because the person with the basketball got too close to that defender. If you're doing a spin move, you should be doing it way back here before they can get close to the ball. Always protect the ball. That's the key thing when dribbling. The whole point of being able to dribble safely is to be able to protect that ball. Let's try that again. Go ahead. So, now that was on that tape there for dribbling. I want to go on one more level before we stop here. And that's where you get more comfortable with the ball. So in normal basketball practice, we have certain drills we go through. There's some more advanced drills that I think even a beginner can try to work on to really sharpen their skills with the basketball. So let's have everybody grab a basketball. What we're going to work on here is ways to sharpen your dribbling ability. And you can do this in a quick manner. You do these drills even 20 minutes a day for even a week, it's going to have an amazing effect on your dribbling ability. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start, and what we're going to do is have a stationary dribble right and left, you guys already know, but you're going to use those stationary dribbles to set up different moves. So the first one we'll try is we're going to do a 3 dribble, then crossover, snap like you were doing. 1, 2, cross, 1, 2, cross, 1, 2, cross, cross. Now we've already done this one Well, let's go ahead and run through it again real quick so we can see demonstration of it again. Whoa, try to pull on your knees. Handle that ball. Good harder, right? Okay, hold the ball for a sec. Okay, so on every one of these drills, we're going to be dribbling below the knee. We want short, controlled dribbles. This is going to help you get better handling on your dribble quick. So the next one we're going to do is you're going to do 3 dribbles, and you're going to go between the legs. So it's going to be 2, 3. But notice my shoulders stay the same. Does anybody see my shoulders move at all? So I'm 1, 2, 3, crossover, and then you come back and get it. And again, if you lose the ball, that's okay. Why is it okay if you lose the ball? Yes?
You'll get better.
You get better because you're pushing yourself. If you're never losing the ball, that means you're probably going too slow and not pushing yourself. So again, on these drills, if you do any of these and you lose control of the ball, it is okay. That means you're pushing yourself. Again, you're gonna, when you're going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, crossover, then step back, 1, 2, 3, crossover, step back, keep your shoulders the same. All right, everybody line up. Let's go ahead and start. Again, keep your head up, dribble hard, keep your dribble below your knee. You have to be below your knee on this drill. It's a requirement of this drill. Okay, keep on it. Get a good smooth on it. The harder you dribble, the more control you have. This drill will teach you that you can dribble really hard and stay low to the ground, and it actually gives you more control, not less. Keep your head up, head up. Again, I don't mind if I see balls rolling. It means you're trying and pushing yourself. Keep your head up. There's no good for these moves. You got scared to fall. Okay, hold the ball. Next one. We're going to go do the same thing, but this time it's behind the back. 1, 2, 3, behind the back. 1, 2, 3, behind the back. 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. Again, this is going to get you control on moving behind the back. You still want to stay in that same area. Passing it to yourself back and forth. All right? And again, new drill for you guys. I expect to see balls rolling around. Perfectly acceptable on this drill. Keep the ball low to the ground. Go. Back. Like that. Try to do it. Once you get it down, try to do it without looking. I see everybody looking. I should see eyes should be able to look up the whole time. But again, if I see ball going, that's not a bad thing. Try to do it with your eyes on me. Good, good, good. Okay, hold the balls. Now, we have a crossover. We have a behind the back. We have between the legs. So this next one is just to have a little fun and creativity. I see all these kids that look at Stephen Curry and different guys like that, LeBron James, and they get all crazy, especially like Stephen Curry. He can create around the basket and all these different dribble moves. Even Kyrie Irving, to win the NBA championship this year, he did a dribble move that's similar to the stuff they were doing. So this one's called NBA Series. And what you get is you get a dribble, and then you get 2 moves you put together in quick succession. So it could be, you could start out like this. You get a dribble, you get 1 setup dribble, and then you're going to do your series. So you go like this. 3 legs, crossover. You could go between legs behind the back. You do that, and then you go between legs, crossover again. Between legs to the legs. And any combination you want, but it's a 2-quick dribble succession called NBA series. You see a lot of NBA players that use these same moves to create space and offense for themselves. So you want to go one, you have your setup dribble, then you go 1-2. Setup dribble, 1-2. All right? Make sure you're initiating from the left hand and the right hand. Go ahead and start. Get a setup dribble, we'll do it. Hold the balls for a second. Now actually when I say setup dribble on this, as you get more advanced, you get 1 dribble. When you guys are starting out, you can take 2 or 3 dribbles to get the ball control and think about what you're going to do and then do your move. The better you get, you want to get to the point where you're going 1, 2 legs, 1 back, crossover, however you get 1 setup dribble. If you can get to the point where you get 1 dribble and you're doing creative stuff, you're going to be able to do stuff instinctively instead of overthinking everything. Then when you get in the game and someone's putting pressure on you and they overreach one way or the other, you can have a response to that. This drill will get you good handles and get you good instincts and make dribbling fun. All right, so let's have some fun. Go. Get low. Make sure it's a double combination. Good. Side. Good. All right, to the balls. So again, this is a way to get really good handles and be able to create your own offense. Matter of fact, Tim Hardaway, who played for the Golden State Warriors and later on for the Miami Heat, was known for his crossovers called the killer crossover. And all the killer crossover was is he'd go between the legs and snap it across real quick and people would be faked out. Same thing. All different. So who knows what kind of creativity lies in you, and you could be that next NBA, WNBA star that has these creative moves you all learn from the simple NBA series, having fun with the ball there. So hopefully this gives you enough to start working on dribbles. If you apply this stuff, these principles on dribbling, and do a couple of these drills, especially the fun ones there to get your handles on there, in a very, very quick period of time, quicker than almost any other skill, you can improve your dribbling. So hopefully you'll apply this. And another nice thing is you don't need a basketball hoop to work on your dribbling. You can have a driveway, you can have a flat surface, a parking lot, and a basketball. So dribbling is one of those things you can do all you want. And if you don't have, when you sell the ones where you're doing 2 people going back and forth, put out a lawn chair and let that be your defender. And when you get to the defender, protect the ball. Okay? So have fun and happy dribbling.